What's good, man? It's OG Drip, man. This channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. And yo, check this out, man. Listen, it get deep, right? Because if y'all paid close attention, man, recently I've been making a lot of videos talking about the conscious community. And the reason why, if you just go back a couple weeks later, it was religion, it was Satanism, at one time it was atheism. You have to go in on everybody because, listen, at the end of the day, this is the misconception of the world. This is how they actually lead the blind of the blind. But it was also one more that is not affiliated with a religion and not necessarily an atheist, just kind of in between, which is the New Agers and the woke community, right? So if you guys ever paid attention, it get deep, right? Because one thing about you got to realize is that the things that the conscious community is called, and the reason why they're called woke, you guys, is because it's called being, having a third eye open, being aware to things, right? Especially things that's in the dark. Now, what get tricky is what a lot of people don't realize, and this is the reason why I be making these videos, man, is try to go ahead and save you while you can. Don't let your ego push you on. A lot of them I'm talking to is spiritual leaders today, and I'm not going to say no names, but themselves know when the shoe fit, right? Because they'll feel like they be on a demonic attacks and things like that. It's because they don't understand of the awareness, right? And if you become aware to something that you was taught the wrong way, that is what's going to stick with you. Like if I tell a person quick, if a person in the church and he pass away or something like that, or even have a glimpse of passing away and come back to this world, I'm pretty sure they would see like a Jesus Christ figure or whatever the God image was in their brain that was already placed. Because you guys got to understand where that image is coming from. That image is coming from this sun right here. But this sun right here, which is what gives us our awareness, which is if you talk about a lot of third eye study, you should understand that this is what light the furnace, right? So what we mean by that, this is what light the furnace in this realm and this reality. So a lot of things still is not being actually seen. But when you got awareness and us being light benders, so anything that we become aware to start coming to us, right? Start coming to actual existence. That's why we be telling people, like, the mind is a very powerful thing. So if you think, a lot of people that go through a lot of negativity, they don't understand, like, the trick behind it. It's like, you have to stop thinking negative and you'll get out of the negative zone, right? And you'll be like, dang, like, how in the world am I supposed to stop being negative and I'm in a negative area? Like, if I could be in a better area, I would think better. But no, that ain't how it works, right? And it's almost like you try to just take someone that's like in poverty and expect them to know everything like a businessman. It don't work that way, right? So when we getting into this is the thing that what gets the conscious community in some bull junk, and it's scary because if you listen from their point of view, the way that their mind is set like demons is actual things that's actually crawling around. So it's actually physical things. They look at angels like they actually physical things, like they're gonna just grab them and actually help them and stuff like that, but not see it through the other ends, right? Because it could be like that, but that's not the way that it's coming all the time, but that's the way that they see it at full times, right? But the thing is, although they see these things, it's make it more bending in, right? So when they see the Illuminati post something, right, or the shadow powers, or however you want to see it, they instantly know that it's evil, no matter what it is. That's how they go in, right? But they not realize they're the same people that would sit there and tell you these people stole everything from us, right? From the actual spiritual ones. So then they come back and then they say everything these people doing is evil. What y'all got to realize is this stuff is not evil to a degree. Like the way you're judging it as being evil towards a human, but the way that they looking at it, bro, is not no evil. You get what I'm saying when it's dealing with like spirit? Because when you looking at it, what spirit made it to that realm is not going through the things you went through with chakras and stuff, where you have inner demons, which is things that you actually getting pulled in from your feelings and stuff like that. See, and a lot of times that's the thing, they don't understand the allegory before even getting conscious. So they go find out everything about the wrong thing, right? Where they'll go find out like, oh, I didn't know the third eye was the most important chakra. See, then they go to favoritism, right? Where they start picking a planet and picking a chakra and picking an energy more than another. Even going to favoring zodiac. Some people will say this zodiac the best of all wheels and all this dumb junk, right? So they go to favoring the wrong things, so they become aware to the things, but they start actually depleting the dark. And see, this is the thing, right? Where they don't understand shadow work. See, and everything ain't meant to be output to the light. So when they get down to that, they're talking about being blind. Like, think about it right now. If somebody put a flashlight right to your eyeball right now, it's gonna blind you. So when you start looking at your third eye in the same way they like to explain it, saying that keep your third eye clean and sun gazing and stuff like that. Yeah, that stuff may help, but that's not all you're gonna need, and it's not gonna do nothing more once you get to a certain level. You're not gonna have to have the sun gazing like that, because you don't understand that this sun is the second sun. It's the sun above this one. So when we looking at this as being the second sun, look at it as being the second realm. We living in the first realms. So look at the first, second, and third dimension as being the first realm. So the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension is being the mind, which is associated with the saying you can leave your mind and be in the body. A lot of people that do a lot of prison time is very good at that. A lot of people that's dealing with something they don't really want to deal with or be there in that area is very good at escaping the body and being just in the mind. See, but the thing is, that's the thing. So it's due to their mind. So whatever their mind create is actually coming real only to them, though. So it's not reflecting the rest of the world. So it's kind of like a fake Jesus. You get what I'm saying? Not even this sun that's actually giving you the projection. So it's like some other type of stuff taking over. So when they thinking that they're seeing something that's spiritual, it's actually more demonic. So instead of them having like a 7 dimension, it's more of it being like, how I'm gonna say, like a inverted 7 dimension, where the 7th dimension and the 8th and 9th is talking about the spirit. It's talking about, for you, it's talking about a devil. And in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, I mean, it's talking about the demon world. You get what I'm saying? Or hell. You know what I mean? And that's the 4th, 5th, and 6th for you, because that'll be talking about the mind state, not being in a heavenly mind. So when we look at it like they're being on earth, we could put our mind in a state of being happy, of being able to feel joy and stuff like that. So that's the reason why when we break down what is minds, and then you go look at it and you see that minds and chakras are the same things, and then they also is 7 chakras, 7 main planets that is associated with it, you start seeing that these things is actually talking about the same thing, but due to it's not the exact same thing, it still copy each other. So now you start to really understand the as above, so as below type of theory. So it get tricky though, because by being aware to that, you can also make it like by us being humans down here, that God is a human up there. So there's a lot of things that you have to be careful that your mind pay attention to. So what y'all don't realize is, by y'all been feeling like y'all escaped the Illuminati, you don't understand that you're still walking into depths. Now you just don't have a golem that you being protected by, and that's actually controlling you, which is like religions and stuff, right? Where they have this Satan, or if they in Christianity, they have Jesus type of Jehovah and all that type of energy to try to protect them, right? So they kind of just feel like, okay, if we just pray and they trick their mind, right, to get along throughout the day. But if you out here and you're conscious, there's no more tricking your mind, because you already done placed your mind to not be tricked by those type of things. So you actually trick your damn self. You know what I'm saying? You trick yourself away from God, but you don't accept that you're an atheist, right? And you don't accept that you don't even know what God actually is. So you calling everything else God, which is blasphemy itself, right? So when they digging into this, they don't actually realize that's why they go through so many nightmares. That's why they feel like everybody's watching them. That's why in the conscious community, you can't tell them that somebody ain't watching them. You can't tell them that the Illuminati didn't do everything that's done on purpose. It don't matter if it got 3 views, the Illuminati has. No, bro, it don't work like that. Like, it works something like that, but you don't understand the power and the reason why they're using the power the way that they're using it. They're using it according to the planetary alignment too. If you think it's a game, you ain't never got to really like search no more. Just type in Google. What's the placement of the moon? What's the placement of Jupiter? Why do they have it? Why do they know about it? Because that is something that your ass should have been aware to when you want to be aware to everything else. And don't be so aware, but at the same time, sitting there blocking stuff, talking about something, it's demonic. This demonic. Got your little fake little angel attacking everything and not able to extend wisdom, not to able to take it. You get what I'm saying? So this is the reason why a lot of those people, and then they be trying to lead other people. So they leading other people into being brickheaded, into being how we gonna say, logically stressed, and then putting the spirit realm like it's supposed to be full of logic. So making it so logical that they actually got physical things going on. Nah, nigga, the only demon that's around is within yourself. And if you around people, you know what I'm saying, that jump into this certain energy, bro. It's not talking about this. So like it's kind of like an inverted thought when you look at it like demons jumping inside people, right? Because they be already around them, right? So the reason why they make it like it's jumping inside is because this is them jumping inside that chakra, drawing it too deep, going inside those waters. You got to remember, everything in this realm is water, but scientists could create everything except water. They'll manipulate it and turn it into other things and use it for different stuff and clean it and all this, but its actual ingredients, no, they're not. They're breaking out stuff like that, bro. They're not. And they got a lot of things that's fake, like fake trees and all that, but it don't last as long as real trees. You know what I'm saying? Things that they put in water, things where science try to mimic God's work itself. So that is what you should have been paying attention to. But don't even get too salted into nature, because everything has an expiration date. So that's basically just saying, bro, everything got to pass by, just like that damn milk you bought. Like, it have to go out one day. So just like an animal, just like a human, one day we got to go out. But this is not for us to sit there and cry and moan over it, but it's more for us to take it and go beyond that, which is ascension. You know what I'm saying? So trying to create ourselves with being around, not only being aware, but know where to be aware too. Know how to put on sunglasses when it's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they like to look in the light a lot of times. If you ever looked at what it is, what they gonna call it? Men in Black, how they boom flash that light, big old light flash, you don't remember nothing but whatever somebody told you. And that's how they basically work. And they know, like, okay, if we tell you this, you already tricked, right? From you listening and actually trying to go against it or go with it from the beginning, when you should have just looked at it and just walked away, not showed it nothing, right? In a sense. So just saying, like, just give you a example. Somebody asks you what kind of car you want, you know what I'm saying? And in your head already, you like, damn, the car I really want is a Ferrari, right? And they ask you, hey, do you want this Nissan? Do you want this Ford? Or do you want this Chevy? Now, by you having, you know, these type of things go on, you liable to pick. You like, damn, I don't want to lose up on the offer. So, and at the same time, you like, damn, so if that don't get you, you like, at the same time, you like, okay, this might be my chance to pick one of these cars. Let me go ahead and pick them. So you might not really put too much of thought into something else. So what I'm saying is this how basically awareness work. So people be aware to the wrong things. They put thoughts in the wrong area because they haven't learned that what this area is. So by them going into that, they already knew that you would do that. So they set up something else for your ass. They be like, yeah, boy, you're going to really be fucked up. You're going to be really psyched out. At least the religion's able to go run and cry and to each other, able to pray and get it going. You ain't gonna have no answers. Ain't nobody gonna be able to help you. You gonna have to figure this out on your own. And if you don't, good luck, because you're gonna be battling this, and it's gonna feel like a monkey on your back. It's gonna feel like the devil watching you. It's gonna feel like everybody in the world trying to kill you. And it might not be. It might be somebody sitting still outside in the car, and you walking out of Walmart, and they beep at you, burn, and you like, oh snap, and they just beeping this wave at you. And you thought you was dead, but you ain't even see the hand. Like that type of stuff, because you can't even be aware to that no more due to that your vision and stuff that locked in over here. So now you really done separated yourself. So y'all got to understand, like, a lot of these people be in love with those chakras, right? Especially when you talk about the third eye community, but they don't understand. We just got to use this through the body, through the mind right now. When you out of this realm of reality, that's why the 7th, 8th, and 9th is separated. That's why when we explain things, we explain it like it's separated layers of heaven, like 3 layers of heaven. Because you can have somebody on earth, right, where they can have all the riches. They feel like they're in heaven. You can have somebody on earth where they don't have that much money, but the way that their mind set up is very nice, right? And it's very heavenly. So this, at the end of the day, this do kind of follow behind someone that, say for instance, they got their mind in the right spot. Because you can have a delusional person, right, where they done created so many illusions around themselves to protect themselves. So it's an insecurity thing that's going on. So it's more than like them using their root chakra and their crown chakra just to try to stay stable, but not with some actual things that you're supposed to be stable upon. Something that don't even count as stability. You know what I'm saying? And they like, that's what they're going to use it for. So it's like using other things for excuses. So, man, it's like playing out excuses in their own body instead of just going ahead and giving God time. It's like, yo, I ain't got time for this because this happening. No, you need to go find out about yourself. You need to go find out about the body so God could be able to enter it, because it's unholy in there. And it's hard for him to enter when you're drowning so deep into our chakra. You know what I'm saying? And that, what I mean by he is, like I said, when I say it like that, it's because some people, when they hear he, they want to make it as like, oh man, no, I'm just saying the image, bro, the thoughts. So once they get to rolling, then you could get the she or whatever you want to call it, because there's some people out there in religions that call God, you know, a woman, but they lost too. But at the same time, they had to read something that made them feel like that. And that's what they read. They just didn't know what they was reading, because due to what they was aware to, they wasn't aware that this was a whole trap itself. It was like they were just walking on the path and there was a whole bunch of holes in the ground, but they couldn't see the hole. So therefore they didn't think that was there, because it was covered up with leaves and stuff. And these leaves and these sticks and all that is basically the lies of the world that being told on to them. So they like, oh yeah, we can step past that, we above that. But they don't realize that when you think you above this, you think you above God. You starting to think you above creativity, and they trick you and flaunt you out into doing that. And it's like very tricky, because it's reverse psychology. So you got to understand that they inverted and they work inverted. The whole point is to make you as a person that may feel like you're holy, you're actually unholy. Then when you feel like, hey, I don't need a religion, you actually do need a religion, but not the way that they designed it, not the category that you learned about. So, man, again, a lot of tricks, though. I'm just making these videos because, listen, dog, I'm telling y'all, it's some spiritual people out there, and they're not going to really come out to front and tell their whole fan base that, hey, I was wrong. I was lost, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I'm telling y'all to be strong, and I'm going to attack myself by actual demons and da-da. Like, no, bro. Like, now, going through some regular human stuff, yeah, hell yeah, it's going to face, especially in this world, being to a wisdom of such level that you out of this world. So when you got to deal with bullshit in this world, that's different. But when you talking about, like, you just out of this world because you lost your marbles, you know what I'm saying? You don't woke up too much. You ain't know when to put on the sunglasses. So you just kept standing in the light. So now in the light gone, you still see dots and stuff. But anyways, man, that's just allegory too. And y'all might not understand that conscious community because that's what the whole book of light was talking about, which is the Bible, bro. But we got to break it down, and that's just to help everybody understand. So even if you felt like, oh, I'm not a woke community, sorry to say, but you probably was if you was looking at life like, hey, yo, a demon chasing me and all this type of stuff there, because now you're going to spook yourself out with spookism. And one thing about Jews, they knew how to play with things like that. They knew how to play with curses and rituals before a lot of you guys even knew in a book what they was even talking about. So at the end of the day, you still probably don't, especially if you're attending a church or even going against the church, like what feel like everything they talking about is pure evil, and looking at the Bible like it's pure evil because you don't understand that they trick you into losing God and turn into an atheist without telling you. But anyways, man, I'm out, man. And hey, we gonna keep it going. OG Drill.